In 1980, she received a letter. She never opened it. It arrived on a Tuesday, the seal unbroken, the handwriting elegant, but rushed. For 44 years, it sat in a small wooden box, a silent testament to a moment frozen in time. She often wondered what words were captured on the paper inside, what promises or farewells were penned on that distant day. But fear, or perhaps a strange kind of hope, kept the seal intact, until today. Today, everything would change. Her name was Eleanor, and back then, she was only 25. The world felt like an open book, its pages filled with endless possibilities. Her heart was full of dreams, and most of them featured a young man named Thomas. He had eyes that held the sea and a laugh that could chase away the darkest clouds. He was a dreamer too, but his dreams were of distant shores and uncharted lands. An opportunity had come, a chance to join an expedition to a remote corner of the globe, a journey that promised adventure but offered no guarantees. The day he was set to leave, the air at the train station was thick with unspoken words. Steam hissed from the engine, a mournful sound that echoed the ache in Eleanor's chest. He held her hands, his grip firm, his gaze searching hers. "I'll be back," he whispered, a promise carried away by the wind. "I'll write to you." He boarded the train, and as it pulled away, a part of her world seemed to disappear with him down the tracks. A week later, the letter arrived. It was from a port city, the first stop on his long voyage. Eleanor held it, her fingers tracing his name on the envelope. But she couldn't bring herself to open it. What if it was a final goodbye? What if it spoke of dangers that would confirm her deepest fears? She decided to wait. She would wait until she heard from him again, something to assure her he was safe. And so she tucked the letter away, in a dark, quiet drawer. The silence that followed was deafening. Days bled into weeks, weeks into months, and then, impossibly, into years. No other letters came. No telegrams, no news, nothing. Thomas, and the world he had sailed into, had vanished. The unopened letter in her drawer became a heavy secret. It was a Schrodinger's cat of emotion inside. It could hold either a declaration of eternal love or a heartbreaking farewell. As long as it remained sealed, both possibilities existed at once. She could live with the not knowing, but she wasn't sure she could live with the certainty of loss. The drawer remained closed. The calendar pages flipped, marking the passage of seasons, then decades. The world outside changed, but inside that small wooden box, time stood still. Life, as it does, moved on. Eleanor couldn't wait forever in the silent echo of a promise. She met a kind, steady man, someone whose feet were planted firmly on the ground. She fell in love again, a different kind of love, calmer and more gentle. She married, built a home, and the laughter of children soon filled its halls. She watched them grow, celebrating birthdays, graduations, and weddings of their own. She became a wife, a mother, and eventually, a grandmother. Her life was full, rich with joy, and punctuated by the ordinary sorrows that touch everyone. Through all of it, the changing seasons of her life, the silvering of her hair, the lines that mapped her journey on her face, the letter remained. It was a ghost in the house, a quiet reminder of the girl she once was and the path not taken. Sometimes late at night, she'd open the drawer and just look at the envelope. Its paper yellowed with age, the ink faded but still legible. A lifetime had passed, yet it was still there, untouched, waiting. One rainy Saturday afternoon, her granddaughter, a bright-eyed 10-year-old named Lily, was exploring the attic, a treasure trove of forgotten things. In a dusty corner, she found the old wooden box. Curiosity piqued. She brought it downstairs to Eleanor, who was sitting by the window, watching the rain. "Grandma, what's this?" Lily asked, holding up the sealed envelope. Eleanor's breath caught in her throat. Her hands, now frail and marked by age, began to tremble. For so long, this letter had been hers alone, a private piece of her history. But seeing it in her granddaughter's innocent hands, she realized the time for secrets was over. The fear that had kept it sealed for so long had faded, replaced by a deep, weary curiosity. It was time to know. With Lily watching, her small hand resting gently on her grandmother's arm, Eleanor took the letter. The paper was brittle. With a slow, deliberate movement, she broke the seal that had held for over 40 years. The sound was a tiny tear, yet it felt like a seismic shift. She carefully unfolded the single sheet of paper inside. Her eyes, clouded by age and brimming with tears, scanned the familiar handwriting. The ink was a faint blue, a ghost of its former self. The words were simple, but they carried the weight of a lifetime. The letter wasn't a farewell. It wasn't a story of his journey. It was a simple, profound truth. It read, "My dearest Eleanor, by the time you read this, I will be far away. I don't know what lies ahead, and I can't promise when or if I will see you again. But I need you to know this one thing, the truest thing I have ever known. I will love you forever. Even if I never return, my heart will always be yours. Wait for me, but do not wait to live. Be happy. With all my love, Thomas." A sob escaped Eleanor's lips, a sound of grief and release, of sorrow and profound gratitude. 44 years of uncertainty washed away, replaced by the beautiful, tragic certainty of his love. Lily, seeing her grandmother's tears, wrapped her small arms around her. "What does it say, Grandma?" she whispered. Eleanor held her granddaughter close, the old letter clutched in her hand. "It says," she managed, her voice thick with emotion, "that love is the one thing time can't erase," she cried, not just for the love she had lost, but for the love she had found and for the life she had lived. And Lily, understanding in that way children sometimes do, cried with her. In that moment, a bridge was built between generations, a story of love and loss passed from one heart to another. The letter had finally delivered its message. It had waited a lifetime, but it had arrived right on time. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If this story touched your heart, subscribe to Golden Wisdom Waves for more emotional stories that remind us of the beauty of the human experience.